Alright, so we are on our way to Mind Game Studios. Me and my brother Dave are going to be looking to do some... They should have the demo for Star Wars Legion. And yeah, so we should have the demo, and we're going to go get a game in, hopefully. I don't know how crazy and crowded it's going to be. We've already purchased Tabletop Ready Miniatures. Has already purchased the whole one of everything, basically. The whole first wave. That doesn't include the commanders, the new commanders, General Leia and General Veers. But it includes, and it also doesn't, I believe it doesn't include the space troopers for the rebels or the snow troopers for the Imperial. I don't believe it has that portion. I don't believe. So it's just the basics. It's everything you get in the everything you normally get in the starter set. So I'll get an extra one of the speeder bikes, an extra stormtrooper squad, an extra rebel trooper squad, an extra RT or whatever it is, ATRT, plus an ATST for the Empire, and excuse me, the speeder, the stow speeder for the rebels. I don't remember what it's called. So anyway, so super excited. That's coming next. We'll get that a week from yesterday. You don't know what today is, but we'll get it a week from to the day that I'm filming. And then we will get that army painted up. We'll be doing some battle reports, showing you Star Wars Legion, doing tons and tons of content. So yeah, we are super excited. We've already been reading up on the rules. That's one thing I think is fantastic, is the fact that they put the rules up for free, or at least to learn how to play in rules reference. I don't know how much bigger the actual rule book will be in the goodness gracious, the starter box. I don't know how much more that's going to be, but yeah, the rule book you can download is 34 pages, plus the rules reference, which is another 30-something pages, I think. So it's a good amount of rules, and then you only read half of it, and then they say that's your basic rules. Continue on if you want to learn advanced. So I'm pretty sure it's the same rules. So anyway, what I'm saying is Fantasy Flight Games, the fact that they give you rules to read over and learn and to go over for free, fantastic. Now you don't have to look for others. All it is now you have to buy the pieces and get the, you know what I'm saying, and then learn how to build armies and things like that, the way they're structuring it out. So anyway, yeah, I'll catch you guys in a couple of minutes when I get to this game store. And then we'll go in and hopefully we'll film some interesting stuff. That's cool. So I'll catch you guys in a bit. Tonight I wanted to talk about, as the video suggests, Fantasy Flight's Star Wars Legion. So I sent a I can't remember if I tweeted it out or something. Anyway, I sent a message on social media saying, hey, I was going to try out the demo at my one of my local game stores, Mind Games. Anyway, they had basically the demo box, the starter box, and they made a little demo board, pull out everything so you could look at them, all the cards and everything, and I got a game in. I was hoping to be able to record the game, saying the skirmish. Didn't have time, was only able to play, I think it was like 3 rounds, but I wanted to do this video real quick just to kind of give my first thoughts and impressions about the game and how I think it's gonna go. First off, I love the army building. I think as more expansions, I guess is what they call them, as more expansions come out, it's gonna get excuse me, it's gonna get better and better. It was already fun, just to kind of put an army together. Me and my brother, we played. It was like 400 points, so it's half of what you usually play for a standard game, which is 800. We played a 400-point game, and it was neat to see the different cards, the add-ons. You know what I'm saying? You can add on troops and heavy weapons troops, and like the stormtroopers can have grenades, and the speeders can have comlinks and different things, and Darth Vader can have force powers and other attributes, and it was really fun to army build. It's a lot less paper and pencil or even spreadsheet like you do with War Machine Hordes and Warhammer 40, especially like Warhammer 40k, which for the longest time was always, for me, it was just paper and pencil. It's so much more fun because you have that aspect like you do with X-Wing, Fantasy Flight's the X-Wing game, but more so because there's so much more customization you can do, right? And yeah, theoretically you can customize X-Wings up the wazoo, but it's along the same vein, and it's awesome because you're customizing with miniatures and with additional weapons and things like that, and it's really neat. So just the army building in and of itself is going to be fantastically fun, especially when you're going to get more commanders, when you get to build your command deck, to be able to pick and choose what you want to put in there. I think it's going to be, just the command deck alone is going to be something you actually really need to think about, along with like what, how full of your unit compositions, especially with your troops, because you're required to have 3 minimum for the 800 point, and then the extra large game, the 1600 point, you gotta have like 5 troops. So it's how you're gonna kit out your troops, how you're gonna do your heavies. You know what I'm saying, with the ATSTs for the Empire. You have, I think, like 3 hard points is what they call them. So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna use all of them? Are you gonna use some of them? What? And then to be able to magnetize the piece, you know what I'm saying, you'll be able to mix and match however you want. So the army building in and of itself, I think, is going to be fantastic and a lot of fun to do. The game, the mechanics, excuse me. The game mechanics, there was some good and some bad. I liked the alternating activations. It took my brother a second to realize what we were doing and how that actually worked, even though he knew and had read the rules. It's just like bolt action. Except for that you get to do a couple of for surefire commands. You know what I'm saying, to different units, but. No, like I said, there were some really fun things. The alternating and active turn activation, I think, is fantastic. It really keeps the alpha strike at bay. There's no way to alpha strike anymore. You know what I'm saying, in that game. And you got to really plan your orders and your activations. The cover and stuff. It's more complex. It's kind of like how 40k used to be, which I enjoyed. So that's nice. The one real, I guess there's two, but Fantasy Flight requires you to use their dice, and I get it. That's just how they do their thing. The dice aren't horrible. It's not like way different or like gonna cause a large problem compared to like just using D6s, So it's like I said, it's the dice. It's not that problematic. It can change how quickly, and I'm saying, you're peeling off units. One thing that I am concerned about, and maybe it'll change as we get more expansions, is I think it's going to be really hard to take out vehicles. And we didn't get enough turns in for me to see how well impact weapons do. I understand how they work, but I think it almost feels like it's gonna take quite a bit of time before you can actually kill tanks, or you got to bring a ton of anti-tank. My biggest issue with the game was the movement sticks. Not necessarily the movement, but the movement sticks. I understand that's how you use X-Wing, but for Star Wars, it's dumb. For me, it's dumb. The range, finder, it's 6-inch increments. 24 inches is how long your range ruler is. Your movement, your sticks, they're not uniform, and it makes no sense. I almost wish, like, if everything else stayed the same, just take out the stupid movement rulers and just go by inches. Let's just make it easier. You know what I'm saying? I think that is honestly my only complaint. And I get that, like, certain vehicles, they have their wedges and you gotta fit it in, and then it moves along the line, just like X-Wing kind of things. But it really, it doesn't add anything to the game, and I think it can, and it will eventually detract from the game. So that was my only gripe. Other than that, it's a fun game. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be really exciting. Lots of customization, especially as the expansions come out. So that's my 2 cents. I don't know if any of you guys have also been able to get your hands on the demo and gotten to play a couple of games. If you have, let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments down below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe our videos. Don't forget to follow us on our social media. The links are also in the description down below, so you can see kind of what we're working on and what we're doing here at Tabletop Ready Miniatures. Don't forget to visit our website, tabletopreadyminiatures.com, if you have or are interested in getting your miniatures assembled and or painted. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.